You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
All right, we're back. Michael Krause, CEO of Wilmington Housing Authority, is our guest this morning. We're talking about the Eastbrook apartment complex, and there's been a high-profile court case connected with that complex involving a Wilmington Housing Authority lawsuit against the firm of Wilmington City Councilman Ron Sparks. That has to be another tough situation since Wilmington Housing Authority operates under the auspices of the city.
Well, in that all of our board members are appointed by the mayor, there's certainly a connection.
And what's the status of that case?
It was refiled recently in court here in Wilmington, and will probably more than likely move forward to a trial here before too long. I don't have the date of the trial on my memorized, so I don't know when it is.
Okay. Once that's settled, then Wilmington Housing Authority will move forward with whatever plans they decide on for the complex?
I think, Don, that we are going to move forward with our plans for that complex prior to the completion of the litigation. That property sat there vacant too long, and we need to take action one way or the other.
So it's either you're going to rehab it or sell it?
Right. Those are the two most likely options right now.
What do you think you'll do?
I think
What do you favor?
Well, I think we should gauge the level of interest from those people who may be interested in redeveloping it or rehabbing it themselves and list the property for sale. And if we have an offer that's inappropriate, I think that the board should consider that offer.
Because then you can take that money and build housing.
Yeah, I mean, we would use that money for other affordable housing development.
And you may not know this, but does that mean that Councilman Sparks has to recuse himself from any vote that might impact Wilmington Housing Authority when it comes to the city?
I'm not certain.
And again, were you aware of that issue, or before you got here?
I was not aware that the Housing Authority was in litigation with a city council person.
Now, was that Section 8 housing?
It was housing for which Section 8 vouchers were accepted. So there weren't necessarily...
It wasn't exclusively, but some.
Right.
All right, let's talk about Section 8 housing, 'cause that's...
Sure.
Explain what that is.
The Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program is a program through which our clients are able to rent from private landlords. We simply, I shouldn't say simply, but we pass along subsidy in the form of rental assistance to the landlord. So the client is responsible for a portion of the rent, we pay the difference.
And are you responsible, or is Wilmington Housing Authority responsible for all Section 8 housing in the area?
It is. We administer over 1,800 Section 8 vouchers, so we serve 1,800 families in that program.
And some of the housing is owned by Wilmington Housing Authority, and some is not?
None of the Section 8 clients live in housing that's owned by the Wilmington Housing Authority.
Why is that?
Because it's truly a program designed for us to assist a private landlord in that rental agreement. We own and manage 973 public housing units on top of the Section 8 program.
I see. And Section 8 is a federal program, a federal subsidy program for housing.
Yes.
Who's eligible for that type of assistance? What is there, a whole...
There's income and other eligibility requirements. We do have special vouchers that are designed to serve specific populations, whether it's homeless veterans or non-elderly disabled families. But primarily, it's if you meet the income eligibility requirements, then you are eligible for the program.
And what is the ratio of the need that's out there as to the availability of that type of housing?
The need is tremendous. When I arrived in Wilmington, the waiting list that we managed had nearly 5,000 families waiting to be assisted on the Section 8 program. We have since purged that list, and it's down to around 400 right now.
Purged it because of eligibility issues?
Eligibility, families who were no longer interested or living in the area.
So was the list, you've updated the list?
We've updated the list. But that said, if we were to open our waiting list tomorrow, we could easily put several thousand families who are eligible and interested waiting to be served. So the amount of vouchers that we manage don't adequately address the needs of the community.
How many, is it done by families, people? How many families are on Section 8 that you deal with?
Right now, there are about 1,700 families that we are assisting.
And is it just within the city limits of Wilmington, or how
It's throughout New Hanover County.
It's the county. 1,700 families. And did you say your waiting list is? You're not taking any new applications?
We are not.
How will that play out in this economy now? That's federally funded. Are you looking at maybe cuts?
No, we're not looking at cuts to the program. Actually, we're doing better financially in all of the programs that we manage. But we would certainly like the opportunity to have more vouchers or receive more vouchers from HUD so that we can assist more families. I think given the economic downturn, there's certainly more of a need for affordable housing in this community as well as others.
So what happens to people that need Section 8 and can't get on the list, can't because it's closed out?
Right. You know, I wish I had a clear answer. There's a certain number of families that we're able to assist, and we're doing, I think, a pretty terrific job in serving as many as we can. But we can't meet all of the needs of the families in this community.
How many? Any idea of how large a group are waiting to get, would like to, or would need Section 8 that can't access it now?
I would think that if we were to open our waiting list and not put any cap on the number of people or number of families on that waiting list, it could easily eclipse 4,000 to 5,000 families.
And where are these people? You don't know. I mean, I'm just asking if you have some inkling of what happens to these families.
Well, I think that there's definitely a homelessness issue here in Wilmington. There are many families who we know are living 2 and 3 families in one household. So while we don't know where all those families are, we know that they're not living in ideal living conditions.
We're going to take another break. We'll come back and talk with more with Michael Kraus, CEO of Wilmington Housing Authority. When we come back, we'll talk about Nesbitt Court, which is a housing project, an abandoned housing project now, and we'll find out the future of that when we come back. Stay with us.